Welcome, sentient beings from all known universes and beyond. It's time to activate your cranial downlinks and prepare to receive a raft of discussion on a cosmic ocean of science fiction and fantasy topics, interviews with local area genre devotees, and insightful prognostication by our soothsayers of science fiction, our forecasters of fantasy, and any other beings that happen to get caught in our gravity well. This is the Galactic Driftwood Podcast.
Morning and welcome to this episode of the Galactic Driftwood Podcast. I'm Bill.
I'm Linda.
I'm Charles.
And we got kind of a smaller crew today. We've got Chris is driving back to town. He was down in Texas this week for work. Let's see. Seth and his wife are down in Lincoln for the Constellation Sci-Fi Con. And Jenna's busy getting ready to entertain family coming into town. So just three of us this week. And we thought we would we want to talk about three-body problem and some other stuff going on in the pop culture stuff, but we really want to wait for the full crew to do that. So we thought today, instead, with just a minor crew, we would talk about some fun tech. I think a lot of our listeners are kind of tend on the techie side. So we're going to talk about something called LoRa and Meshtastic. And LoRa, L-O-R-A, is a sort of an abbreviation for long range. It's an abbreviation for long range, specifically in this case, long range communications. And Meshtastic is a type of software application that you can run on an Android or iOS phone. And the whole point of it is to give you an off-grid way of communicating, which might be useful. Let's say you have a group of folks that are going out in the wilderness, going on a hike or something, and you're going to be out where there's no cell phone coverage. Well, you could take this Meshtastic system with you and use it to send text messages back and forth between your group. And the nice thing about it is if you're strung out along range and you've got somebody in the middle and somebody at the lead and somebody maybe on the tail end, and maybe you're separated by, a half mile or a mile or whatever. Well, because it's a mesh system, if you want to talk to that guy on the far end, you send out your message. The guy in the middle will get that and then repeat it so that the guy on the far end can get it. Does that make sense, Charles?
Yes.
Okay.
So what makes it different than just the walkie-talkies?
You count on your neighbor rather than the cell tower.
Right.
What did we have? They weren't walkie-talkies. They were little units that went a little further than a walkie-talkie.
You talking about APRS?
Not ham radio related.
Oh.
They were just walkie-talkies.
Oh, GMRS.
GMRS. Yeah. What makes us different than GMRS?
Yeah. GMRS is a nice way to communicate, but it's not a mesh system. So if you're trying to long range? Not really as long range as ham radio, for example. And since it's not a mesh system, you pretty much have to have a line of sight ability to communicate with the person that you want to talk to. So if the two of you using GMRS are on the other side of a big hill or a mountain or whatever, you're not going to be able to communicate.
Gotcha.
Even if you've got a guy on top of the hill. The guy on top of the hill could listen to your message and then key up and retransmit it so that the guy at the other side of the hill could hear it. But that takes some manual intervention, right? And of course, then you're hoping that the guy at the top of the hill was listening to everything you said and got
Boy.
the message right? It's, you got that, what is that, where you sit in a circle and you whisper a message in somebody's ear and it goes around the circle, and by the time it gets back to you, it doesn't at all resemble what you initially said. So so this basically everybody in the mesh will hear the message and can repeat the message, so that everybody gets the original message, whether you're on the other side of the hill. As long as you got somebody up on the top of the hill, it'll repeat it so that everybody on the other side of the hill can hear it. Charles, you look like you're about to ask a question.
Oh no, you just remind. This is a long time ago though, and one of the cities I lived in previously was as I bumped into this as an engineer, So, but all the police and fire department, and at the time, this is a long time ago too, but at the time, signals came through one tower eventually.
Yep.
And so then the question became,
what happened if the one tower went down?
That one tower, which was an old, it was an old structure, so it wasn't. It was probably the first thing to go down if there was an earthquake, right?
Yeah.
So, and then
not much redundancy in that system.
No, but even with something like this, I suspect that's still a problem. That even if you can talk with your friends, I don't think the police would want to use it.
No, but as it gets more and more adopted, there might be a better chance that other people maybe out hiking might be using the same system. And if you've got enough coverage on the mesh, and I will say they've done some long range communications tests with this system, and of course, this is an ideal environment going hilltop to hilltop. They're probably using Yagi antennas and aim directly at each other, but it was like 250 kilometers, I guess, is the maximum distance for this thing. So Linda and I tested it, and I'll get into that a little bit, let you know what our mileage was on that. But first, let me share a picture of what the radios look like. So essentially, you're buying a radio that's kind of built onto a circuit board. It looks just like this. And the one nice thing about this is these are low cost, comparatively speaking, low cost systems. I mean, you can buy this board and an antenna with it, and even a case. We got ours for about $28 on eBay. So it's not too bad. They're in the range of $25 to $30. And this is what the board looks like when you get it. And you can see it's got Wi-Fi on it. It's got Bluetooth. It's got a couple of buttons, one for programming and one to reset, reboot. Some indicator lights that tell you if the board has power and if it's getting a signal. It's got a connector for an external battery. Let's see. Get off the cover of the screen there. And the version, they've got version 3 of the unit out now. So this system has been out on the market for a couple of years, and they're now on version 3 of it. And so when you buy it online, you essentially are buying it similar to this. So you get that circuit board, and the circuit board comes in a little box. Let me go back to my screen here. Basically comes in a little box like this. Try to get the glare off the screen, right? And there's the LoRa long range 32. And I don't know if you can read the rest of it there. Maybe not. There we go. LoRa Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Tells you about the screen. And the other benefit of it is that it's a very low power transmitter. So you can get by for quite a long time on a very small battery. So once you get it, it comes with for our $28 per unit. It actually comes when you order it. You buy a kit, you get 2 of these. And so you get the little case there for it. And basically you take the circuit board and you stick it in that little case. And you've got a couple of little wire antennas that come with it that you put in there. And I'll show you what mine looks like. I'm going to bring it up here. Let me go back to my screen. And that's what mine looks like. It's disconnected right now. But I will open this up and show you what it looks like on the inside. So when you pop the front cover off, so you can see, let me try to focus the camera on it. So yeah, so you can see the antenna is just kind of wrapped around in there. The circuit board's kind of laid in there. And slap the front cover on this thing. And then I've got this USB cable. There's a USB connector on the end. And that USB connector, if you have an external battery for it, this USB, when you plug it in, it will charge that external battery if you have one. I don't have one yet. I've got one coming. So, okay, so it's booting up. I'm trying to get my camera to focus on it here. Here we go. So that's what it looks like when it comes up. Yeah. So, and again, you've got, focus here. There we go. I can hit that button up the top and change screens. And it shows Wi-Fi connected. So once you've got it up, you go to the Meshtastic website and basically plug this into your computer. And let me share a screen here. Screen. Share this window.
Do you still need your cell phone to text? Or
yes. Well, you don't, and I'll get into that in a minute, because you can buy a unit that's got a keyboard built into it. But that's a little bit more money. But if since most people have cell phones today, cell phone might be the way to go.
Well, I was just thinking that might be a nice gizmo for a teenager.
Yeah. So this is the Meshtastic website, and you can go out there and learn all about it from this site. And it's got it's got 3 simple steps at the bottom, how to get started. You purchase your supported hardware, and they have the list of everything that you need there. And then you flash and configure your node, and then you connect to it with the Meshtastic app. And flashing, it's very easy. You just basically go to this flasher page, and you click your drop down here, and you can see there's a lot of devices that you can choose from. There's quite a few options out there for picking stuff. So we've got the Helltech version 3, and then you basically go here and you pick your firmware. And if you're a person that likes to experiment and be on the cutting edge, and you're willing to accept some frustration, maybe you're younger. I'm kind of beyond the point where I can accept too much frustration in my life. But you can pick the alpha versions of the code down here. But otherwise, if you're like me, you'll pick maybe the most recent stable version. And if you have problems, you can go back to a previous one. But you pick that version, and then you say flash. You click on flash, and it comes up with some information, tells you what's in this particular thing. You click continue, and then it'll say you do the flash firmware, and I do a full erase and install just to make sure everything's cleaned up. And then you click on erase flash and install. And then it comes up and asks you to pick it. Now, I don't actually have my board connected to this computer right now because it's already flashed, and I don't want to start over. I'm trying to show you quickly in a half hour or so how this system all works. But you can see it's fairly easy, fairly straightforward. You don't have to know a lot of computer stuff. You just follow along with the prompts. And if you do have difficulty with it, there is a Discord user group where you can go out and get help, and you can click on general and get into comments. And if you're on Android, you can go to Android and post questions or read what people are posting. And for those on Facebook that prefer Facebook, there's also a Facebook group out there. And they're talking about now they're putting ATAC, which is another communication system for people that want to be off grid. They're having an ATAC plugin for Meshtastic as well. So yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff going on with that right now. And so essentially, you get it up and running. And again, that's what it looks like when it's up and running. And then you grab your phone, and I happen to have a spare Android phone. You can use any Android. This happens to be a Samsung Galaxy 5, so it's fairly old, but it works perfect for Meshtastic. So let me log into it here. And so when you go in, let me see if it'll show you that. Come on, focus. I don't know where it tries to focus. But anyway, yeah, it's a little bit hard to see, but it shows you what you're going to connect to. So you have the option of connecting via Bluetooth, or if you've configured it, you can connect via its IP address on your local network. It doesn't have an access point built into it, so you're not connecting to it directly with Wi-Fi. You're connecting through your home Wi-Fi system. But once you're connected, you can pull up a map. Jesus, there we go. And it'll show you the other nodes that it sees on the map. And then you can also go to the this screen, which shows you the other nodes that it's seeing in your network, as well as their latitude and longitude if it's passing them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Linda. And then this screen here is the screen where you have your chat groups. And so there's a public chat group that you can use to send messages to anybody that's still got the public chat. Here it is. It's coming in there. And then I've created another one called Cragon Syndicate for Linda and I to play with. So we'll just go into that. And Linda, if you can go into that and hold that up to the screen. So you can see we've sent a few messages back and forth already. So I'm going to send Linda another message now. And hold it up just a little bit, Linda, so they can see the message come in. I'm just going to say test, and I'm going to send that. And there it is, just popped up on Linda's screen. And that's just radio to radio, just that fast. So it's pretty quick. And you can go a lot longer range, obviously, if you have more units in your match. Right now, it's just kind of Linda and I. And mostly the reason for that, and you can see with Linda's thing it's just a little baby antenna. But you can, here's the batteries that you get for it. So these are on order. They should be here on Tuesday. So 2,000 milliamp hour battery. Obviously, that battery is not going to fit into that case. So I did need to get a new case. Now, there are a lot of people 3D print cases, so there's a lot of STL files out there. So if you have a 3D printer, you can 3D print your own case that'll hold that battery. And then they also have different antennas for it. And so basically, this is a site on Amazon, and we'll put some of these links in the description. but you can go out to Amazon. This is a 5 dB gain antenna, basically connects right to the board, and will give you a lot better reach than these little baby antennas that come with the units. And then if you're looking for cases, maybe you don't have a 3D printer, you can get out there and here's an example of a case somebody printed, and you can see they've got a different type of antenna on here for better range and reception. And this is one that's designed, comes with a belt clip, and your antenna just attaches to the top, so you can just wear it as you're out walking or hiking. Just clip it right to your belt or your waistband. And Charles, here's what you were talking about with, do you need a phone? So there is this option that you can get. It's a little bit more money. I think it's in the $60 range. I don't remember exactly, but this comes with its own built-in keyboard made by a company called LilyGo. And it's got a little bit bigger screen so you can see the messages better. But it's all kind of what works for you. For Linda and I, we already have a cell phone with us when we're out in the world. So, if you have a small little device that I can clip to my belt with a decent antenna for decent range, we can get out there. And even if we have absolutely no cell coverage and we can't see each other or talk to each other on cell phones, but we get separated, we still have that ability to communicate provided we're in range. And of course, your range will improve if you can go climb a hill or something like that and try to get to a better transmission point. So, what do you think, Charles? Any questions on that? Or?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's amazingly easy to set up. Granted, I'm kind of a tech guy anyway, but I was surprised at how easy this was to do. And there's tons of help out there. Like I mentioned, they're on Discord, they're on Facebook, Instagram. There's literally dozens of YouTube videos on how to get started in this. So it's pretty easy to find information and get going. The difficult part, I would say, would be once you get up finding others that you want to get that you want to mesh with. And for us, that's a matter of just getting a better antenna so that we have a little further reach. I do know a couple people in our friends group that have also gotten these radios and are playing with them. And so we're hoping once we get our better antennas all set up, we'll be able to see each other directly.
Let me know.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll keep you posted. But yeah, there's also a lot of different units out there. I think there's one that's actually working on or involves using voice with Meshtastic. So you could actually make a voice call and not just be limited to text. So they're improving it all the time. So it's kind of exciting tech to play with. And if you like futzing with circuit boards and so this circuit board, let me pull it out here again. Let me disconnect it, and I will show you that this is also a development board. So if you look at this thing, let me go back to the main screen here. Sorry again. Okay, so if you look to that, you notice that the board has a lot of holes in it, and it basically comes with pins, and you can put these pins in here and solder them in, and then you can attach other things to this board. So people are using it for connecting up a weather station to their transmitter so they can transmit weather data or any kind of telemetry or information that you might be interested in. You can obviously attach. You've got, I don't know how many pins on here. Let's see. Looks like 36 little more than 36 pins on here that you can connect into and use for different things. So if you're into experimenting and playing around with technology and you want to try to set up your own weather station to transmit weather throughout a mesh network in your city, you could do that. Or anything else that you might be interested in. What do you think, Charles? Or have I sold you on it yet?
Well, not yet, but so I can see. Well, part of it, I'm probably not going to go pouncing around in the woods for a while.
Right. Well, but Charles, what if there's an asteroid impact that takes out
Here we go.
local communications?
No, I got it. Yeah, and then
then you could get up on your mesh network and still keep
well, that would
updated
let me know.
weather.
So I will want to know where all the survivalists are staying.
Right. So in Charles's case, he's probably going to set up a stealth Meshtastic node so that they can't find him, but he can see where they are.
Yeah, that's basically what I need.
Right.
Yeah, I've been going over the little emergencies the last decade. Since I was late on the cell phone thing, even, but it's usually that I've been caught without a charge.
Yeah.
Or a little while ago, the power in the house went out, like at 11 o'clock at night. It was exactly without a charge mostly.
Right.
But well, even then, what was that? I think I had to. It was half the house went out, so I had to get an extension cord for my router. It was some sort of electrical. It wasn't my fault. It was.
You didn't try to connect a 220 circuit to 110 and just
no, but somebody up the line might have. Yeah. They would have
happened to us at Menards the other day. We went in and.
Oh, is that what caused that?
I don't know exactly what caused it, but we went into the store. We were shopping for new coach lights for the house, and sure enough, we're in there and looking at it, and suddenly everything dead. So it was weird to be walking around the store with all the lights out. It almost felt like the beginning of a zombie apocalypse. You know, and you're thinking, okay, well, at least if this is the beginning of a zombie apocalypse movie, I'm starting it in the right place.
Yes.
Right? You can pick up all the hardware you need, axes to kill the zombies, shovels to bury bodies,
Well, no, they did bring in a small generator to make sure the cash register still works. So.
Oh, because that's a pain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been caught with that, but
Well, that's a good question, Charles. So let me ask this to Charles and Linda. If you guys were out somewhere and a zombie apocalypse type scenario were to happen, where would you want to be when it happened?
Well, Charles can't answer that question.
You can't?
I'd say like out in the woods somewhere away from populous cities.
Yeah, but I think I would either want to start it at a hardware store or a grocery store, right?
Sure.
So I can stock up on stuff and I don't have to try to race there with everybody else. I'm already running out the store with my cart full of stuff when everybody else arrives.
Yeah.
Throw it all into my car.
Have you seen World War Z?
I have, but I'm thinking, Omaha probably is going to be one of the last places to hit. We'll see it on the news before it really gets too bad here, but people will be running to the stores. They'll be running to Lowe's and
whoever has toilet paper, right?
They'll be getting axes and shovels and fencing to keep the zombies out, generators, and food. Food will go fast. People will be stocking up on water, toilet paper. That was a big one during COVID.
Yeah, no, that's what I think. You're overestimating the populace a little bit, because that was the last round. The worry was toilet paper, and I don't really think that should be your first worry.
You don't? What would be your first worry, Charles?
Well, no, but food and water and such.
Yeah.
And then,
Right.
Yeah.
And batteries and
Sure. Yeah.
That should be what.
That's true.
Well,
Without
but
food and
you know,
water, you don't
listen,
need toilet paper without food and water.
listen. A friend I worked with, he was not at all prepared, and he ran out of toilet paper at home, and he went to the store, and there wasn't any.
Oh, sure, yeah, no,
And he was about as desperate as a guy can get for toilet paper, and there just wasn't any to be found. So I don't know what he was doing for several weeks while he tried to find toilet paper. But let me tell you that when toilet paper became available,
He overstocked.
again, he was out. He started parking his car in the driveway so that he could fill up his garage with toilet paper. And as far as I know, he still has that hoard.
Oh, that's too bad. No, but see, I was way ahead. I always
stock
the paper
up.
supplies. It's not just toilet paper, Kleenex, paper towels.
Yeah,
I've got a 6 months of. I've been like that for 30 years.
Oh, that's smart. Good for you.
But well, part of it's just it's easier. To me, it's easier. I don't like making unnecessary
Desperate runs. Yeah,
desperate run for anything. So
right.
the stuff that I don't.
Linda won't let us stock up on anything.
What?
I'm like, Linda, we should get another one of these. No, we have one of those at home.
Well, we need a bigger house if we're going to stock more.
Well, all right. Well, anyway.
But yeah, otherwise I just figure usually the end of the world stuff. I'm just figuring I'm going to die. That's
run toward the light.
Yeah, I'm not escaping.
Well, I think the important thing for a lot of people would be medications.
Well, I
think there'd be a run on pharmacies, grocery stores, and hardware stores, and gun stores.
Of course.
Right?
Or sure.
You'd probably be safe at a movie theater. I don't think anybody'd be raiding there.
Popcorn.
Gymnasiums. I doubt people would be raiding the gymnasiums. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are your key places. No?
Maybe. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I just figure it's good to have if what you want is a friend that has guns in that situation.
Right. And like a compound, maybe one of those underground bomb shelter type things that you can survive in for a while.
But
my concern is after you come out and everybody else is gone, what the hell are you going to do? Right?
Sure. Well, I'm not going to invest that money. The other thing is most even canned goods have
expiration date.
And
sure.
I've always wondered about that with the people that do that kind of thing. At what point?
Yeah, they swap stuff out.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be.
But they've got those. What is it? What's that company? I can't think of the name. I want to say Mountain House, but I don't think that's it. But they've got is that it?
Yeah.
Dry goods.
Yeah, they've got. You can buy a can of ham and egg, dehydrated ham and egg breakfast that lasts for 30 years.
It's not a can; it's a package. Yeah.
Package, sure, freeze dried.
Yeah.
Then all you have to do is have water to add to it, and then
just have to have that clean water.
Clean water, that would be important. If it's been a nuclear war,
you're in trouble.
You're in big trouble. Yeah, unless you've got your own secure cistern and a large supply to last you until all the radioactivity gets washed out of the air, and you can collect more water.
One of the mistakes I made with our little pandemic. Because I didn't buy that much, but I did go out. Whenever people were buying toilet paper, I went out and bought some gallons of water. Not that I thought anything was going to be, but just in case the system shut down for a while.
Well, and that could have happened if you had enough people contract it that nobody could work. Your water, city water, might have gone.
That would, and so I did buy some water.
Yeah.
And
makes sense. Well, at least now to bring it around, at least now with Meshtastic, you'd have a way to communicate with your buddy that's got, maybe you've got the water and he's got the toilet paper, and you can
or he wants to eat me.
You can set up Charles Barter Town and say, I got the water if you've got what I need.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't know. The whole prospect of running a barter town sounds exhausting.
Yes.
Right?
Well, boy, does it.
I think maybe I'm just going to run towards the flash.
Just dealing in cash is too much these days now.
I know, right? All right, folks. Well,
train hides. Oh,
yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's presentation on Mesh. God, I have trouble saying that. Meshtastic, and the LoRa radios. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. And hope you are interested enough to at least get out there and give it a try. See if there's any LoRa type mesh communications going on in your city or your region. And if not, maybe you'll be the guy to kick it off. So we'll see. But let us know what you think, and if you've tried it, what you think of it. And on that note, we'll wish you a great week. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Galactic Driftwood podcast. For more information and past episodes, please visit our website at galacticdriftwood.space or subscribe to us on YouTube. And now, please deactivate your cranial downlinks, collect your towels, and be sure to watch your step as you exit our gravity well.